Welcome back to the channel. Today I have this bag, which is called the Apparition. And so I had been in the market for kind of a weapon concealing bag, something with a longer variety for folding rifles, broken down ARs, you know, things with folding stocks, that kind of thing, as well as something that could hold pistols, tablets, and some other range gear. Not something that screamed tactical, obviously. And this bag, it's maybe a little tactical looking. It sounds a little tactical. Some of the marketing might grab some eyes, but I think to the average person, it just looks like a regular bag. And so that is right here. And as you can see, it's a tall bag, and I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'5". Let me see if I can just focus for you there. And everything fits as it should. The load lifters are right where they ought to be for me. It does have a structured back panel that I'm going to show you where you can lock into different heights. And as far as the back of the backpack, it goes right to my tailbone and then up to my neck. And so this is really nice. It's a low profile design. I just wanted to show you that angle real quick here. This is loaded up with a few things, as well as an SBR type air rifle, but it can fit a little bit longer products as well. And so I'll show you that. Let's take a peek inside real quick. Again, not intended to be a review, just showing you real quickly something that I've been using, something that might interest you. Yes, it does look a lot like the Eberle stock cherry bomb, maybe a secret weapon a little bit. I'll just leave that to your suspicions. But anyways, this bag I purchased off of Optics Planet. It was not sent to me. I purchased it myself. And you're going to start with a couple drink pouches here with elastic. They'll hold a decent size, you know, maybe an Nalgene, something like that. Two of those right there. There's a lot of symmetrical features on this bag. Right here on the side pocket, it's big enough for the side pocket. Probably a small pistol if you wanted to put a holstered pistol in there. Don't just dump a pistol in there, guys. That's stupid. Holstered pistol certainly could fit a small size one in there if that's what you want to do. On the other side, it's actually where I store my keys. So I put my keys and accessories on the other side. Makes it a good range bag just to having something like that, as well as if you're hiking, backpacking, which I do sometimes hike or backpack with a rifle, especially a broken down rifle or a folding rifle of some sort. These are nice pockets to be able to just reach back and unzip and grab something. You can put some food in there, but I actually put food in the front. So these pouches right here are not big enough for a smartphone, but they are big enough to throw some food in, a little bit of trail mix, something along those lines, maybe a map. And again, symmetrical. There's two of them. I guess as long as I'm here, I'll talk about this. These have a good amount of form to them, and they don't feel overly rigid or overly loose. And so I think it grabs onto my hips pretty well. It's not quite as good as some other companies. I can mash it a little bit. Some other companies it would be quite difficult. The padding itself is like in between. It's not that cheap junk you would get from like a Walmart or you know, some off-brand backpack store. They sell that kind of tactical gear. It's not like that. It's not quite to the level of some others like Mystery Ranch or something like that. But again, the price difference is going to be reflective here. So this, I would say it's totally fine. I have no complaints with it. The buckle itself seems fine. It's not super high quality, but it's decent quality. So I'm just going to be careful with it. And it fits right where it ought to. This is, if I can just reach my hand here, there's Velcro in here, which is what is retaining it. So I suppose you could take this off if you really didn't want to use it. I like having it on there, especially because I hike around with it. Moving up here, you have some backflow. So there's a little venting, a little area here where you're not touching your back directly against this panel. You get a little air movement down there in the summertime, especially. It's very nice. This padding is sufficient. I'm going to say right up here towards the shoulder, or like in between on your spine. I do notice this a little bit. I've never hiked like 10 miles with this bag. I do notice a little bit, but not uncomfortably. I can just tell that it's there. I'm just aware that there is something right here that is not the same as the padding. And I appreciate this quite a bit. This track right here, if you're a real short guy, you know, you're 5'9" guys, 5'8" guys, right here, you can lock it up and it's going to fit you just fine, all the way up to somebody who's my height or a little bit taller. I would say maybe up to 6'8". I think this bag is going to fit you. There definitely is enough right here. If I can just move the arm straps here so you get this around your shoulder, there's enough here for somebody who is taller and broader than me by a good bit. Chest strap itself, there's enough for somebody with about twice the size chest that I have. So I think there's enough here. You have your D-rings and your load lifters on top. The load lifters aren't, they're not Excalibur, but they do function. They have purpose being there. I wouldn't take them off. I think they add more value to the bag. Then on the very top, you have a good carrying handle, stitched well. Actually, everything seems to be stitched pretty well. It's not quite, it's like a $300 price point bag, and that's fine for me because I'm just hauling around some average stuff. I'm not loading it down for a mission or anything along those lines. It's just for carrying it around, and I do think it's stitched reasonably well. I checked over the stitching on everything because I do want to use this bag quite a bit, and I rely on it. Now moving to the sides, when I carry my tripod or just anything to that effect, I do use these right here. You have some little retainers, some loops, so I can fit my tripod right in there, and then some tighteners, and it fits down in the drink pouch if I wanted to. If I had my druthers, I would have had 2 compartments or another set of these to attach things on the side, so I could use the drink pouch as well as 2 of those. Threw a climbing clip on there because that's what I do. Moving on, right here, and in fact, let me change the camera a little bit so you can see this better. Right here, your exterior pocket, I just have one of these hot hands warmers and a small amount of medical. I usually bring a specialized medical bag if I am going to go out somewhere, so I just have this in there in case I take it to the range and it's redundant. This pouch right here is a little funky. It's a little weird. I don't know. You know, it gets real narrow down here, but it does have expansion built into it. If you can see this right here, there is expansion. That's what this vein is. It's sewn in a particular way so that it kind of tends to lay down if you want it to, but if you fill it up, it expands, and you can fit more in here. I've been able to fit my ears, like my muffs for shooting. So functional, cool. Does say Gray Ghost Gear right here, an Apparition. I feel like this is a little too tactical. If you're really trying to be Greyman and not be noticed, this right here ruins it for me. Anybody who reads that, who sees that font, kind of checks it out, it may, I don't know. That's a little too much for me. Anyways, I'm okay with it. I'll survive. Moving on to the inside, you do have a Velcro pouch right here. I have a pistol pouch. It's a universal pouch, so I can put something with either, you know, a light on it, or one of my pistols, maybe with a red dot and a light. All that kind of stuff. It configures easy enough. So there's hook and loop right here, all the way down. Very convenient. You have some organizational pockets in here. I suppose you could fit 10 rounders in there, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't carry magazines in this exterior one, unfortunately. I do think this is a good place to carry magazines, but they have opted to put it in the same pouch as your rifle or your weapon. That makes sense too. I carry a knife in there, a couple of just basic needs that I have, and inside of here I have a few of my regular weapon tools, utility tools. So there's a zippered pouch in there for retention, and it does go all the way down to the bottom, guys, and in the bottom I just keep a bag with me just in case. Zippers are all nice. I would say pretty high quality. They feel really good. They zip really smoothly, even better than some more expensive bags that I have. Let me find the other one here, and we'll get to the main pouch. All right, try not to lose everything here, but I have in the main pouch, I just have kind of an SBR pellet rifle, and it fits this whole thing in there pretty well. So this right here is a Crosman 1377, and it's just for showing right now. I can actually fit a folded stock 16-inch barreled AR as well as one of my 22s inside this pouch, and that's really cool. I like that quite a bit. On the reverse side here, what you have is a place where I keep a tablet sometimes in this pouch. Right here, I keep a tablet in this side. There's a zippered pouch. And I know I'm not doing the most excellent job of showing you all this, guys. Let me move it around a little bit so you can see better. So there's a zippered pouch if you need to retain something in here. And then you do have some magazine pouches, which are really tight. I would say these are really only good for 20 rounders, 30 rounders. They fit so tight, and this elastic is just so tight, I don't know what they're thinking. I prefer to put the 30 rounders in the pouch behind, actually. Then it's real nice, easy to grab. Not too worried about them sliding out anyways, because everything fits real tight in this bag. Then on top of that, inside of this reverse side, you have a key clip or a retention device. The pouch itself, again, you have hook and loop on the inside, and there's also some straps that are able to be moved around and tight in different fashions, depending on if you're carrying uppers, which is something that I do use the bag for, is I can actually fit a few uppers in here and a lower. And so when I go to the range, I can mess around with a variety of things. You know, my 22 dedicated upper or my 223s, I can fit them in here, and it's all really natural and it doesn't bulge out, carries the weight really, really well. That's one reason I'm willing to do this video, even though it's not something they sent to me. I just really like the product. I think it's fantastic and it's very functional. Then additionally, there are some of these right here. I think this is one criticism. So these straps right here are just something you can place around wherever you want. Unfortunately, there's not enough, I would say, distance to get around the barrel of certain things. So these have been sort of useless for me aside from accessories. But having the whole side covered in Velcro is nice. You can, again, put in pouches, organizational furniture in there, whatever you need to do. There's not much for back support in this as far as a frame goes. It does have some sort of kind of flimsy internal frame. I don't want to say it's to the point of like Walmart bags flimsy, but it's not a really tough support. And so if I can just show you a little bit, when I have something in there, I wouldn't know the difference. It's fine, it's good to go. But without something in there, if I did not have a rifle or a long object in here, a tripod, it is a little flexy until it's mounted to my body, and then again, it's great. And so I'm pretty appreciative of this style of bag. I do think they could have put a little thicker liner in here for a support, something along the lines of what Eberly stock does in theirs. All right, we're filming in the dark now. On the very last pouch right here, 2 spots. This is actually an expansion, and this is how I can fit my 16-inch barreled CZ457 in this bag. I can actually fit it in here without folding the stock. Because of this expansion, the barrel comes out the bottom, and most of the weight is retained up here. This is mostly just a barrel cover. It's not a thick material. I would not risk putting much in here, guys. It's not really strong. But if you really needed to move, you know, a larger size rifle, this might be helpful to you. And then something I do find pretty useful, inside of this, let's see if I can just pull it out a little bit, there is a rain cover. And this rain cover is very useful. It fits over the bag even when the bag is maxed out and has a lot of stuff in there. It's got elastic and retention. And so if you're in a watery condition, backpacking, hiking, which happens to me a lot, sun showers, and you don't want that gun or whatever else is inside to get wet, you can go ahead and throw that over your bag, and it's going to do a really nice job of keeping most things dry. All right, the sun has gone down. It's too dark to keep filming. I just want to give you a first look and a peek at this. If there's enough interest and you guys want to see more things loaded up in here, rifles, pistols, accessories, maybe different lengths of uppers, things like that, I would be happy to do another video on that if there's interest. So go ahead and comment down below. If you have one and you have some opinions, go ahead and tell me what your opinion is or what your experience was. If one broke on you or if it's been really successful, I would love to hear about that. And just any thoughts that you have, comments, questions, please go ahead and jump into the comment section right now. Otherwise, you could probably watch one of these.